too. All right. I was
All
just checking my different screens. We're on D Live. We're on Twitter, Facebook. You name it. Oh, let me turn that volume down right there. That was my fault. We are on a lot of formats, and of course, every show gets uploaded to a podcast. So we're everywhere, baby. We're everywhere.
Perfect. I'm setting up my audio. We're gonna rock and roll here.
Damn straight. But we're gonna shoot the shit for a second. You know, let people come in and stuff. But man, I gotta tell you, I'm getting a little disappointed in Hollywood.
No.
Just a little disappointed in Hollywood. Okay.
Why would you be disappointed in Hollywood? Why?
I'll tell you why. Oh, good. Our good friend Scott Martin's here. Robert Alley's here. That's awesome. This is why I'm getting. This is why I'm getting disappointed with Hollywood.
Why?
Okay, I decided to watch a movie on Netflix. Fuck, forgot the name. Fuck that African white actress. It's like a she's like a war movie where they get shot and they come back to life and stuff.
Oh, that sounds pretty common. What movie is that? Do you even know the name of it?
God damn it! I just had it on top. You know what I mean? Hold on a second. You know that sucks. You're right. You just watched it, and then all of a sudden, somehow.
Well, if I don't like something, I'm not going to remember it. So it's no big deal. I'm seriously. If someone says, you see that movie? Yeah, I couldn't tell you the name. I know. I can tell you it sucked. That's all I can say.
Bro, I'm pulling up my my Netflix here. It's gotta be here and continue watching, because if I don't remember what it is now, it's gonna be let me see here. Continue watch. Oh, The One Guard. It's called The One Guard.
Oh no, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's The One Guard, and let me get back here, and this is the part that's kind of driving me crazy. That I missed the 80s and I missed the 90s.
Yeah, is
all these war movies now, right? All these war movies that comes out.
Yeah, I can't.
Hey, David Vinchman. I was talking to him in Through the Veil Paranormal channel.
Yeah.
But, what's driving me crazy is all these war movies now. I'm sorry, I'm getting tired of the desert. I'm sorry, I'm getting tired of the dirty desert. I'm like Iran, Syria, Iraq and stuff. I get it. I know that's the modern day wars, but I'm so tired of it. Can we go back to Vietnam? Can we go back to World War II? Can we go back into the jungle?
Well, they beat up that horse a lot. They beat up Vietnam after Rambo beat the shit out of it. Then everybody else, it's kind of hard to top Hamburger Hill.
Oh, but make me another Rambo movie. Send them back to Vietnam to start another war, because this is the problem now with war movies. And I know everybody's trying to get more real in some movies, but you watch the movie to get away from stuff, to get away from reality, kind of escape, right? I'm getting tired of every movie now. All has to pitch in PTSD. I understand a lot of people got PTSD. I understand that, but getting tired of every fucking war movie now is like PTSD. Listen, we've been in the military. I understand we're diagnosed with PTSD too. I understand that. But after a while, you're like, God, can we move on from the desert? Can we I don't know, start a movie that we're gonna go to war with Russia or something. Let's fight in the snow.
North Korea, man.
North Korea.
Well, here's the thing. I always joke. People ask me about it. I get with vets. We talk about some shit. I go, wait a minute now. North Korea, we went to the Middle East because they had weapons of mass destruction or whatever they had over it, whatever they say. Little ass place. All of these, we still got people in Afghanistan. Well, obviously it's because of the opiates. The opiates support the opiates. Anyway, all this stuff, all these countries, England, everybody, and we can't go to North Korea, dude. It's the size of fucking Jersey. We could take Jersey. We could take North Korea. I've been to Korea. I've been to Korea many times, and I've been up around that certain areas. It's fucking the size of Jersey, man. You can't take fucking. I go, why can you not take North Korea? This dictator and these oppressed people. We can't take North Korea. Well, they got nuclear weapons. Everybody's got a fucking. India's got a nuclear weapon. We could shoot their shit down. We could do all this election. We could hack their shit, shut it down. We can't take North Korea. Seriously.
I know. And I agree, Scott. PTSD does make money.
Yeah.
It does. But it's just like, I'm tired of the dirty buildings, dirty this. Nobody can speak English. And it's just, and I don't know. I kind of miss the Chinese and the Chinese and the Japan. I don't know. I just want another war movie that doesn't deal with dirt.
We need a new war. I think we need a new war. I figure maybe
we need a new war. Exactly.
Let's just go to Korea. Let's just take North Korea. We'll have a whole new set of fucking genre war movies. We'll have the whole PTSD all over again, but it'll be North Korea. And I know Korea, so let's just go Korea, man. I'm serious. I've been there. I hate them. I don't like Korea. I like Korea, the South Korea. I've been all over there, but North Koreans are wrong, man.
Kind of like when I fucking forgetting everybody's name. Seth Rogen and his best buddy. They made that comedy version where they went to North Korea. That's great.
Yeah. I've seen DMZ area. It's fucking. Their guys are like robots. They're like robots. It reminds me of the Hunger Games with the leader Snow. That is North Korean leader.
At least Hunger Games was in a forest. Happy Marcus Lee, he just wrote Super Gypsy Road. I've been waiting days for you guys. This is going to be good. I'm glad you're here, man. How do you guys feel in the chat? Are you guys getting kind of tired of these war movies? They're all in the freaking desert. Are you guys getting tired of that too? I'm getting tired of the desert, dirt, desert. Give me an old-fashioned war movie.
Man, I want to fight Nazis. I want to fight Nazis again. You know what? This is a Nazi.
Let's fight Nazis again. Give us a good World War II movie.
Yeah.
Let's do that again.
Yeah.
But I will tell you something that I actually finally got to watch last night. It was actually refreshing and it was actually good. And I was about to say, it's about time, Disney Plus. About time. Because we pre-bought Disney Plus for the 3-year package because it's like 50% off. And the only thing that Disney Plus really only had was The Mandalorian. And that's about it.
Yeah, I know.
They finally launched a new series last night, and it was actually good. It's called WandaVision.
WandaVision?
Now, I know they're superheroes. I know Wanda and Vision are superheroes, but
we're superheroes.
But this is what they did. It's based on a comic where Wanda is trapped in her own mind, right?
Oh,
so it's like she's trapped inside of a matrix,
like Donald Trump.
So when you watch it, it's like you're watching a Bewitched 50s TV show. It's black and white. So it's like you're watching Leave It to Beaver.
Really?
So it's like she's living with Vision in a black and white kind of a world, and they talk like I Love Lucy, those kind of shows. But there's like little glitches during the show to tell you that something is not right. So it's cool. They did it very well. It's like I love Leave It to Beaver. It's all mixed in with the little glitches. So it's like almost a true kind of a matrix because she's in a mind of an AI. She's trapped. She doesn't know she's trapped. She doesn't know that she's trapped. She's noticing AI. She's noticing that something is not right. So it's kind of cool. So it's like it's like you're kind of watching it in a Matrix kind of a way. So it's kind of decent. But there's only like 2 episodes so far. They only do an episode a week. Yeah, here we go, Scott. Yes, jungle and a trench war.
Yes.
Give me a good jungle and trench war, man.
I want to fight on the moon, man. I'm waiting for. Why can't we fight Nazis on the moon?
You know what?
The North Koreans and the Nazis collab, and we fight them on the moon.
You know what a good moon war movie would be? Somehow you resurrect Roger Moore, to replay his James Bond in Moonraker, because at the end of Moonraker, he was making love to a girl in space. You can have where that space shuttle crash on the moon, and then James Bond does a war on the moon.
I'm a Sean Connery guy, but yeah, I could tolerate him for an episode.
Well, all you know, maybe you have Roger Moore like on the moon and finds his grave on the moon, and finding out that it's Sean Connery's, because they're both dead, right? You got the technology to resurrect them both.
Well, you could resurrect a lot of people. Again, I think Scotty, Beam Me Up Scotty, his ashes, the actor, was brought up to the moon, supposedly, you know. And remember, there's how many bags of feces left on the moon? Isn't there like a large number of bags of shit from astronauts on the moon?
Yeah, there is. We're trying to get money so we can give NASA to
go
our shit up there.
Yeah.
Marcus wrote, "We need a new Predator movie like the first one." Yeah, because the last Predator movie sucked. They need fucking Arnold's old. Who cares? Get Arnold back. Send him back into the jungle.
Arnold.
And instead of one Predator he fights, give him 3.
You're one ugly. I can't remember what he said. You're like one ugly motherfucker. I can't remember what he said. Get to the chopper. Get to the chopper. Get to the chopper. Remember Predator Part 1?
Oh no, the Predator. Those famous scenes. You know, the famous words. Today I won't bleed. I don't know. You know, they. You know.
Get
bleed.
to the chopper.
Bleed.
Get to the chopper.
That could be a good movie. Battle to break through Antarctica.
That would be bad.
Something rather than the fucking desert.
All in white camouflage, just like hiding out in the fucking Antarctic, you know, with pretty much easy to bomb people in Antarctica.
One plane ride, shite. You can't get to the moon because, as you know, Earth is flat. Okay, now if you want to do a flat Earth vision, you can say that we're in a matrix on the flat Earth, and in the Matrix, there's the moon, and we have to get to the moon through the Matrix. Well, you could get to the moon. You can get to the moon through a Matrix, through a flat Earth, round Earth. You could create a moon.
Now remember, everything's artificial anyway, and we're talking about a comic book story. So in a comic book story, we could just jump up there to the moon because it'd be there in the comic book and in the movie. We could eat cheese. It'd be like a cheese war on the moon, Eric. We could have like a cheese war with the Nazis are like guarding this area of the cheese on the moon because the moon is made of cheese, people. Yeah. You know that. Yeah. There's evidence to support that.
Yeah, because on a plane, she's laughing. But on a plane, think about this. Now, for the record, I do think the Earth is round. But for the record, if the Earth is flat, you have a dome. Nobody says there's not a moon that's floating inside.
True. I think there's a lot of things floating inside. We just can't see them.
Oh, she's right. But there is a car going to Mars.
There is a car going to Mars. Oh, yeah. What if we have a fleet of cars that go to Mars? What if the next battle is on Mars? And then Elon Musk is the emperor of Mars, just like the book.
Oh, you could do like a book. You could get Tim Burton to do a sequel to Mars Attack, but this time Tim Burton uses Elon Musk set of Tesla cars to fight the Mars Attack.
Yes. You know, because I mean, they wrote that book about Elon Musk being what's his name, the fucking Rocket King, or whatever. I forget his name. Fucking that Nazi. Anyway, the fucking Nazis. So the Nazis take over. Elon Musk is a fucking Nazi. Takes over the fucking Mars. And so the Nazis now have Mars. And then the Americans have to go take it back. And they fight Eric. But then you're back in the desert again. But you're in the red desert.
I know. That's right.
You're not going to get around the desert, man.
Well, listen, if the desert's going to be like Total Recall, okay, I could go with that. Because the Mars don't have villages like these desert war movies have, okay? So I can live with that, but I don't know, man. I'm just getting tired of the dirt wars. I'm just like, come on. Give me an old-fashioned jungle war movie.
Well, I'm gonna combine it. I'm gonna be half desert, half jungle for you. Here we go. Desert jungle. What does this look like? I'm in desert jungle.
There you go. It's fucking Hollywood, man. You could create a war with any country. Actually, I think, Bob, there's a reason why you're in Britain now. I realize why you're in the UK because I'm realizing this now. People saying that China and other countries are trying to destroy us within by buying our land. I'm gonna beg the difference. I think it's the UK. I think it's the British are trying to invade again, right? And this is how I got to that point. When you watch American TV, almost every American TV show has a lot of British people.
Yeah.
Has a lot. All right. Acorn is a streaming service that shows you UK television. And I'm watching the UK television. There's almost no Americans.
What?
There's like no Americans in UK TV shows. I got the Acorn. We watch British. But in America, half the fucking actors and actresses are British. So is it the British invading us? And listen, look at the last 3 Star Wars movies, episode 7, 8, and 9. You had this a character named Rey who talks British, and her grandpa is the Emperor. The Emperor didn't talk British. So are British, is the UK, Bob, are they getting ready to start invading the world again, to take a world domination again?
Well, they've already invaded. I remember the Queen of England in this timeline has knighted pretty much every fucking president of the United States. Well, not every one, but there's a consistent amount of presidents that are knighted by the Queen of England. Now, also, they're Rh negative blood types, which makes them related to the Queen. That's why they're knighted. So people don't know that the British reign or the royal reign has never ended because all of the Rh negatives in the United States are in the government. Ironically, all of them always working for the government or running for president or our president or a congressman or whatever. The Rh negative, that's not a conspiracy either. That's good old fashioned basic research. Yeah. So remember, so technically the Queen is in charge of the United States, Eric. Always has.
One plane wrote, American actors are made of wood. Well, I guess we're all related to the actors, Bob. If they're made of wood, we're related to them. And then Marcus wrote, American loves the British. Yeah, I guess we can, I guess.
Yes,
but
we do.
What
But
does that mean?
British love the American accent, Eric. British love the American accent. When I'm over here, they love my accent. They just fucking love it.
Ben wrote robots, actors.
True. Yes.
And then Scott, we like their ass. Do you like theirs or Australian? Who actually, Bob? Who do you think has the best of all the countries? Who talks the best using English? Is it? Do you like Australian? Do you like UK? Posh, or whatever you call it?
I'm gonna be honest when I say this, guys, and this is just from anthropology. This is just from me, and don't quote me from other people.
It's all for fun.
I've been all over the world. I've been everywhere. I've been to Australia, all one end like a damn clock, all the way other in Australia. I've been all over Australia, even in the outback. The Australians, for some reason, even the dudes, they'll come up and they'll be fucking cut and big. And for some reason, they've got a higher pitched voice. They go, really high voice, mate. It's really high. And I'm like, how the fuck are all of you Australians got high voices?
They do.
Now I'm in England. Yeah, they always got a high pitched voice. I'm fucking not joking. Then I come to England. Some of them have a lower pitch voice. Some of the guys are like regular guys. They have a lower pitch voice.
Scottish. Scottish is a good one.
Scottish accents are freaking sharp. And Welsh accents are pretty fucking sharp. My favorite is the Welsh accent in England. The Welsh accent. When they have a deeper voice, it's difficult to find anybody in England 100. There's some, but there's not very many men with a deep voice. And in Australia, forget it. They all have high voice. They all have a high pitched voice. And you come to England, A lot of guys, I think more than most, will have a high pitched voice, but
That's how,
have a low
wow, Bob on the money. He's
right.
great with you.
But the Welsh, for some reason, the Welsh will have a deeper voice. The Welsh will have a deeper voice. Now, Eric, remember our ancestors from our mother's side are Welsh, and they came from that line, that Welsh line. That's where we're king of Welsh, king of Wales. But they have a deeper voice over there. But you go to England and you go moving up, they start getting higher. Ireland, I've been over Ireland, and these dudes have a higher pitched voice. The men have a high pitched voice, almost like damn. The men have a high pitch. I don't know why. Some Scottish will have a deep voice.
What do you think? What about what do you think of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Austria's voice? I think that's my least favorite.
Yeah, again with the Australians, or the Australians, but the Austrians and the Germans, they do have a lower voice.
Yeah,
but they sound like they're spitting out food when they speak. I'm like, good God, dude, are you spitting on me?
Why are you yelling at me?
Why are you yelling at me?
Stop yelling at me.
When they speak, it's like they're yelling at you. It's like, I don't fucking slow down, man. Slow the fuck down.
What country is Jean-Claude Van Damme from?
He's French.
He's French.
Now, the French, when the guy's French, they're smooth.
She have tiny balls.
I don't want to say, I don't want to put down anybody.
I'm Welsh. I trace myself to John Ackland.
There you go. Yeah. Which nationality are we talking about again? I lost my.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's
okay. Yeah. So he's French. The French sound like they're perfect. They're perfect French sound, but they always look wet to me. Like the French look like they're wet. They're like they come out of the rain like a wet rat or a wet dog. They always look wet, like they're gonna stink or sweat. They're like, the smell of a French man is like, oh fuck, did you bathe, man? And they don't use I don't use deodorant either, but these dudes reek, man. It's like they always look wet. They got a 5 o'clock. A 2-year-old baby will have a 5 o'clock shadow. French. They always look like they got a 5 o'clock shadow, and they look.
Van Damme is from Belgium.
Belgium's nice. The girls are freaking phenomenal. Oh my God.
Van Damme had a bump on his head. All the movie covers. This was sort of Mandela effect, but no one wanted to hear me out. Van Damme had a bump on his head.
Okay.
Let me do a picture of Van Damme.
Okay.
That's like a bump, like a. Let me see. Van Damme images.
Well, he used to be a dancer. I think he was in the ballet. I'm not fucking
and I'm not joking. Wasn't he known to be in gay porn? I'm not joking. I thought I heard that. I heard that.
He dabbled in what they call that light porn, like that ready for TV cable porn. Like not heavy, but he was in gay porn.
Okay,
like
so here's Van Damme. Check the move covers. It's a bump on his head, like on top of his head, or like is it in the front of his head?
Was it on his forehead? Wasn't it?
Because he got like a bump, like a little dark on his forehead. I can see that.
Yeah, I don't know. I was never a 100% Van Damme fan. He was just too limber for a man.
Oh yeah, look right there.
Huh?
He's got a big bump right there.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't.
Holy shit! Look right there. He does have a big bump.
Not that I hate Van Damme. I was probably more jealous that he was way more limber than a normal man should be. Just men should not be able to bend like that.
Listen, Van Damme was no Steven Seagal. He was no Bruce Lee. He was not. He was also. I wouldn't say he was no Arnold, even though Arnold didn't. But dude,
the guy.
He got a bump on his head. That's crazy. Forehead. I don't remember that bump.
I don't know about on his forehead because I just saw the picture. I can't tell you. I can't even participate in this possible Mandela effect.
And he's such a whack job too in real life.
Yeah, it just wasn't overly. I wasn't. I'm not putting him down. I just wasn't a fan because the guy again he bent too much. He bent. He's like a Stretch Armstrong doll. It just too many bends for this man, for a normal human, a man. Men don't bend like that.
Now, I don't know if this sucks or not. I mean, I don't watch Van Damme movies, but now if I'm going to watch a Van Damme, I'm going to be like staring at his forehead now.
Like, ugh.
I mean, but Van Damme's he's a trip because I saw him in an interview. He was talking about sitting down with the director and producers having milk, and I'm like, hold on, you're sitting with directors, producers about a movie, and you guys are drinking milk. Okay,
There's something about him.
and then he started talking about they brought out cookies for the milk during a negotiation. Like, I never heard of I can see like, Bob, we're gonna negotiate you a movie. Handing you like a shot glass of whiskey or a beer.
Yeah,
but milk and cookies. Milk and cookies. I mean, maybe Belgium. Maybe that's how they roll.
Maybe a steak or two. Yeah, no, this man he's used to eating escargots, and again, he bends incorrectly. Men don't bend like that.
Bill Gates has a bump on his forehead too.
Maybe they all got something in them. In this comic book, maybe they've all got some kind of demon in them living inside their bodies. It's a reptile. Maybe they got reptiles living inside.
You never know where this show goes to. Let me see here.
But he fucking does.
Yeah, he's got a little one. Here in the picture.
That is a nerd, man, who got too much money and too fast and too much power. There is a problem, man. When I was younger, I used to talk about how the strong are overlapped by the weak because of money. And now you've got a set of offspring being produced by these nerds. No offense to the nerds, guys. I had my own nerd classification myself, but this is a fucking nerd.
Well, he is. And let's not pretend that this guy came out of nowhere, like broke or not. Him and Paul Allen had money. Oh. They did. When they didn't invent DOS. They bought DOS from a Seattle guy for $30,000. Now, I don't know about you in the 80s.
Yeah.
$30,000 is a lot of money.
Fuck,
especially in the 80s, right? So if you have $30,000 to buy a DOS and then sell it and make millions.
Yeah.
Microsoft came from stealing from Apple. When you had $30,000, they were well off. They were spoiled little rich kids that were able to do things that you and I could not just go to a guy's house and say, hey, can I buy that DOS program? I'll give you $20.
He's an agendist, man, in this Matrix program. Again, guys, I don't believe anything's real. This guy's
Xerox operating system. Yes, actually, yes. Well, hold on. Technically, Steve Jobs of Apple is the one that stole Xerox operating system and made it their own. And then Bill Gates and Paul Allen convinced Steve Jobs to send them a copy of the program before it was released to the public. And then when they have it, and then they stole it from them, and then they recoded it with their own stuff in it, and they were able to get it out to the market before Apple did. So they're all pirates. Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, they're pirates. There's even a movie called The Pirates of
Silicon Valley.
Of the Valley. Yeah.
About things, man.
They're smart, but the thing is, they weren't the computer geniuses. They were geniuses of selling.
Yeah, well, they had the money. They
were salesmen. They bought other people's stuff, made it their own, and made it huge. So it was actually Steve Jobs that stole the Xerox operating system, and then Bill Gates stole it from him. So
these guys are nerds. They're nerds. Well, wait, that was Apple. That's what I meant. Apple.
Yeah. My bad. Yeah, I know that. But he wasn't wrong because it was stolen 3 different ways. It was Xerox, Apple, Microsoft.
Yeah, and then we talked about Howard the Duck came out, and they used all those CGI special things from. You remember the other companies that all of a sudden Steve Jobs bought right afterwards, and then he made that other Lexus or whatever. I can't remember the name of that fucking computer company. That I don't know. It's all they all thieve from each other, buy from each other, maneuver each other.
And these people all had money from the beginning, so there wasn't like they're poor from the streets and they did all this. So people got to get that out of their mind, you know. So agendas. And then Bob, I'm going to show you the 2021 guidelines of basically some changes on YouTube. I thought it'd be interesting to check out some guidelines. Now, one of the things that I was looking up of the guidelines because I was on Through the Veil channel and they were talking about some of the 2021 changes on YouTube, and I thought, hey, I'll take a look at that. I'm curious what are there too. So basically, you cannot. If you talk about the elections, you cannot talk about if you feel it went wrong in a different way, because if you say certain words here, your channel video will be taken down.
Oh.
So you can't make any negative comments about an election. So I'm not going to read that because if I read it, the algorithm might think that I'm saying something differently. I wouldn't even play with this. You can read it there. But now number 2 says this one. This one can read. Now I don't know how this one is new. I thought they're already doing this. You can no longer post any adult related content if your channel is kid friendly. Now,
the button you got to push.
Now, first of all, well, no shit, right? I mean, listen, Bob. If you and I are gonna do adult content, why would you and I put the channel under children in the first place?
Yeah, as long as you set it for 18 and above, we're okay, and we keep it to a minimum. Yeah. I agree with that. I mean, you got children, especially everybody locked in their houses watching YouTube. You want to. I'm a little bit old school when it comes to that. Yeah, I agree with that. Of course. This fucking weird ass place, man. This place is so bad.
We got Box Cartwheel just joined us. Carla Webster just joined us. Elite Cake just joined us. Dark Glasses Woody just joined us. Now, guys, we are going to get into the afterlife, but I'm just going to show this real quick, and then we got what the fuck news. Then I'm going to show you guys the poll that I put up for the topic, and then we'll get into the topic. So this is just like street shit talk for a second till we get to that point. Now, so this one, that rule is not really my opinion. That's common sense. I mean, that's just fucking common sense.
I agree with it.
All right. So if you like put a Gypsy Road channel on a children's show, okay. No. Now here, no more tricking your way to the top.
Oh, you mean Richie from Boston?
Well,
don't do a Richie from Boston. Okay.
What that means is, I don't know if I'm against this or for it. So, like Bob, if you go to another channel and you put in the comments, "Hey, I'll sub your channel and you sub mine," if you start using that language, you can get taken down. Now you can say, because I read this, you can say like, "Hey, you should check out my channel." That's all right, but you can't offer a sub for a sub, and reading it, you can't offer gifts to people to sub you.
Oh, I remember people doing that. Like the first something subbers get a Xbox something,
Yeah, it says right here, the explicit goal of these giveaways cannot be to get people to subscribe, like, or comment on your video. Any phrasing or call to action that even implies that will likely get you in hot water. So
yeah, we don't offer you anything. I'm sorry, guys. You're gonna come home with knowledge. That's all we're gonna give you, and even that's questionable. So
yeah. Now this one, I don't think we'll have to worry about this one at all. You need more than 100K subscribers for your channel to be verified. Oh,
Ooh, we'll get that. We're almost there. We're 10,000.
yeah. We're close.
We're close. 10,000. You guys like, sub, tell your friends. We're going to get to 100,000. I give it a month, Eric. A month.
1 month. We'll have
once you get past 10,000, it's fucking smooth sailing. Straight to 100,000, no problem. Yes.
And then now I did read it. Now, even if you have 100K, to get verified, you just can't have all videos where you're not in it. Apparently, you have to be in your videos to be able to have it verified. And all that verified is basically like Instagram or Twitter. Like, this is the real Bob. This is now, like, listen, if you watch us live, I don't think I need to be verified unless I'm a clone.
Well, no, what they're talking about is now I know what they're talking about. I've even talked to some people who wanted to try to do this. For example, cat videos. Some people in Japan or whatever, they were putting like cameras into a cat room, and they had the cats there just being cats. The cats, the camera's on 24/7. So the cats are just doing what cats do. There's no acting, there's no nothing. People are just watching a show with live cats. Japanese love this shit. People put Japanese things on the bottom, and they watch. I see that
in America. People do it on squirrels.
Yeah, and they'll put like a donation bar at the bottom, and people will donate money for cats. Man,
what about those channels that do like 24-hour space, 24-hour music?
Same with same kind of thing. So they're not going to acknowledge you for that. You got to be somebody. They want somebody out working hard and putting in content and trying to do something, even if it's bad, at least you're trying.
This next one, I thought they were already doing this. You got to pay attention to your thumbnail. I thought that was always where if you had like if you did a thumbnail, right, and I put somebody else's symbol that is their trademark, they can actually get your thumbnail taken down. I mean, I thought they already kind of had that. Maybe they're getting more hardcore and stopping it more. Maybe.
What's it about? I mean,
let's see here. YouTube creators have figured ways to having their videos pop by leveraging both their title and thumbnail. Okay. Successful titles are more straightforward and clickbaity. Meat unhealthy? The truth about eating meat. This helps videos ranks higher on Google. The thumbnail usually that view. I guess apparently certain people they title their shows just as a clickbait. The video is not even really technically about that, because what you could do is there's programs that you can use to find out what is the hottest topic, what is the hottest words, and you're basically clickbaiting people, kind of like, Bob, if we did a show called Afterlife and we don't talk about at all Afterlife,
we'll talk about
technically that. You could say we clickbait people to come here if you just came here to learn about Afterlife.
Then we're talking about some fucking YouTube rules.
And then final word. And then according to now I was trying to look this, the reason I was looking this up, according to Through the Veil Paranormal, they were saying that they're getting more hardcore on if you're using other people's content. If you show it. Now, I know there's that Fair Act, but apparently the Fair Act is more towards like government sites and all that. And since YouTube actually owns the format, they can use any rules that they can want. But I didn't really see anything that talked about it. But according to Veil the Paranormal, they're saying that if I use Eleve Kane in the chat, say she has a channel and Eleve put something and I just used it without asking her. Now if you ask somebody from the chat, if you ask somebody on air, you can use that. That's permission. But I guess they're getting a little bit more hardcore on that.
Well, there's also video. What they're doing is they're watching other people's videos and they're just commenting about their videos. And so they're just basically sitting down at the computer, just letting somebody else do all the hard work, and they're just making comments.
Yeah, and that's the curiosity part. So, because a lot of people watch trailers, and we've done that, like doing our we used to do horror movie shows. So is that basically technically in 2021 not technically allowed because they could actually take it down because we're commenting on a trailer?
I think if that's your thing, though, if you're a movie reviewer and you're reviewing movies or you're a commentary on certain situations, like you're kind of a journalist, amateur journalist and you're commenting on certain things or weather or stuff like that, that's your thing. Well, then I think it's an exception.
Well, here we go.
If you're just living off other people's work.
Here we go. Lee K wrote, YouTube rules are getting more elaborate. Rule 307.
Yeah.
No posting videos during a full moon unless it falls on an odd number Wednesday in a month ending in R.
Really? I like that. That's funny. Right. Very good. Okay. Yeah. Hey, why not? You know what? Why not? Yeah. As weird as it may sound, it might be true.
Well, technically, it's in the rules that YouTube, I'm not saying anything bad about YouTube, don't get me wrong, but YouTube can actually end my show
anytime
for no reason. They own it. They don't have to have us on.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people hate that, but if you think about it, say I don't like JR44, what he's saying. I just ate a Wonder bar from Orion. Think I might feel funny later. So say I didn't like that comment, right? I could actually ban him, right? I have the right to do that. Say technically YouTube owns me using their format, could do the same thing to me, ban me.
Yeah.
Which they own it. I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, if you play, we might have to pay. I mean, it sucks, but it sucks.
Unless you trade on, if it's public trade, then they technically can't. But
yeah,
I'm not gonna fight with anybody. YouTube's only treated me good, so I'm not gonna fight with them.
No, I was just curious about the rules because a lot of people are talking about the 2021 rules, but there's nothing really outrageous on those rules. I mean, listen, common sense. You can't put adult stuff when you put kid friendly.
Yeah, you can't do that anyway. You should be doing that anyway. But this is a weird ass place. I mean, this comic book is fucking psychotic. These people are weird. There's weird people online. This is like the weirdest shows, weirdest people doing anything and everything for fucking subs. I'm like, really? Is that important for you?
It is. Well, we know that. Okay. We know that the WTF is one way to get rid of subscribers.
Yes.
So we're not trying to gain subscribers. When we play this, we actually probably lose 20, 30
probably lose a lot of them. Yes. I do that on purpose to keep our our egos down by you doing these. Yes.
So here we go.
Okay. Welcome to What the Fuck News.
All right. Let me change my audio so you'll be. Let me share the screen back. I gotta turn my audio off to be able to hear it. So let me go back to default. Yeah. Here's default. Here we go.
Now before we start. This is a huge Mandela effect for those of you like myself, or I call it. Anyway, a continuity error in certain things that I see. I have never heard of some of these things in planes before, ever. And it goes along with the whole new thing with the engine sticking outside of the wing that I worked at the Aerospace Museum and this for years, close to a decade, and these things just popped up and I'm like, fuck the fuck. So anyway, this shed a little bit of light on it, but listen up, I'll explain it afterwards. It's kind of weird.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Robert Wood. And this is What the Fuck News. I like to give you guys the skinny of the scuttlebutt, the water cooler, whatever the information is that's going on out there. And I like to provide you with my educated guess. Now, nothing I say is real. It's absolutely full of shit. Just like everyone else out there in this beautiful fake-ass place we call fucking planet Earth, or whatever you want to call it, back of this fucking turtle. Let's talk about the 737s. Now, the 737s have just got back out on the market because apparently, back in the time now, I know all about the 737s because I worked at the Museum of Flight, the Aviation Museum, and I actually worked on 737s and multiple other planes. But I was never privy to the information about the ending rudders or whatever the fuck you want to call them flappity doos that like to bend up and down in the back of the plane that allows the plane to go up and allows the plane to pitch down, up and then down. Well, they had a problem with those automatic, beautiful little things. The problem was that when it's an automatic pilot, those things would lock whatever direction they want to go to, because the majority of flying is done in automatic pilot. Since you've got so many titty milk pilots out there about the age of 12 flying airplanes, a lot of automatic pilots. So nobody actually has the skills to fly a fucking plane. So when they lock in a position they can't be in, it takes a nosedive, or it does a couple of spins, or whatever have you. It's a bad thing. It was built into it by flaw, whatever. They had it back in the manuals, but nobody actually read the manuals about these awkward tail fins, or whatever you want to call it. What's interesting is that Boeing used to be in competition with Airbus, and it was a big thing in Washington that Boeing's going to get the contract from the United States government over Airbus. And the reason why they got it is because they had a lot more cheaper, efficient 737 Maxes and other 730 planes in general. And they beat the contract ass right out of Airbus. And the thing is, right after they got the contract, they set up they laid off a whole shitload of machinists in Washington and multiple places in the United States. And to save money, they sent all their work over to Brazil. Now, the Brazil is on the metric system. That's right. America does feet and all the American system, but the rest of the world is on the metric system. And the problem is that the machinists over in Brazil follow the metric system. And in America, the Boeing line follows the regular feet and all the yards and other systems in the United States of America. So they had to modify all their machines, the machinists did, to match up the parts and pieces to go with the Boeing parts back in the United States. But nothing ever lines up 100%, especially when you have machinists that had machines that ran for years and years and years with the regular feet system. But the metric modified system went over to the feet system or whatever, and was not 100%. So parts did not exactly match up 100%. There's always that 1% variable where nothing matched up. Anyway, moving forward, now you have these planes falling out of the sky. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the engines. The engines is a CFM, the CFM 56-7B. The CFM is a wonderful engine and is probably the most popular engine you can have on a 737 or any Boeing plane. It's the most popular, the CFM engine. But apparently they're full of shit too. Lots of problems with the CFM engines and lots of problems with lots of Boeing. Well, the previous engines were really no problems with, but it's much later when they wanted to save a lot of money, when they started collabing with other countries that ran through the metric system, not like the United States. And there's the biggest problem. So no matter how many times they try to put together a plane again and put out a manual on how to override that automatic system, it causes the tails to kind of the wings to go down here. And we go ahead and the MCAS system, the surrounding the maneuvering characteristic augmentation system, as they call it in big fancy words, the MCAS just doesn't seem to keep working. And every time they take a 737 up, it keeps having problems because everybody's so used to doing the automatic pilot, and nobody's even skilled in the manuals to understand that they need to, well, whatever. Anyway, there was a couple of movies made about the whole thing. So this is just bullshit come from someone who actually worked with Boeing. This will kind of let you guys know what I know about how they shaved the money. And the United States just sure shaved the money, and the Boeing system sure shaved a lot of money, and there's sure a lot of lives lost. Just in a hypothetical situation in this fucking fake-ass comic book. It's not real. So nothing I say is real. Keep your eyes to the skies and keep your eyes to the ground and keep looking at things that's jiggle and wiggle and higgle. The skies and the whatever's in the, who fucking knows. Okay. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah! Get down! Get down! Woo! Look at that dance. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting, Eric. I was researching this. Now, people that know, Eric, you should ask your son, by the way. I don't want to say his name on camera, but you need to ask your son. The 737, according to my obviously wrong memory, and I worked at an aerospace museum, it represents Boeing, that the 737s had a General Electric engines, GE. They were made by GE. The engines were made by, in my time, GE, Pratt and Whitney, those that remember, Rolls-Royce. Now there's a CFM, yes, Eric, I said it right, CFM engine made by the company CFM. You're going to laugh about that name. But anyway, so these CFM engines, Eric, is a collab company out of France. These are French engines. And they're made by a company called Safran. And I'm really getting into this because there was never, ever anything I've ever heard of CFM, any CFM engines, Eric. At the Museum of Flight, we had Pratt and Whitney fucking engines to look at. We had the GE, which is the original engine that was on there. We had the Rolls-Royce engines for you to sample, but there was no CFM engines ever. In my timeline, I've never heard of the CFM engine. So apparently, it's the most popular engine ever. So they made us $170 billion fucking dollars from 17 to present, and then before that, they only made $30 billion from all the way back from 74 to 2017, maybe 30 billion. Now, in just a short period of time, they made $170 billion off these fucking CFM engines. I'm like, I've never heard of these engines, and they've always been on the 737. So people talk about they remember the engines they used to be under the wing, and now they're in front of the wing, but no one's bothered to look at the engines that are in front of the wing. So I researched the engine, and I go, this engine didn't exist. It never, ever existed. It's a Mandela effect, or you want to call it, or it's a continuity error that I call it. Engines didn't exist. And I did some research on this engine that came from Safran, which is a French a company that actually works for the EU, the European Union. They're also on the Airbus. And not only that, they actually put out rockets, dude. They put out rockets. The Ariane, that's right, the name is Ariane 5. Ariane rockets from Germany that steps in with their Ariane rockets. Why not Germany and Ariane? That doesn't sound weird. So these engines, but here's the really weird part. These engines, Eric, they run on, guess what? What kind of fuel do you think they run on? What kind of fuel that these rocket engines, that's Safran, the company that makes CFM engines that's on the 737, you know what fuel it runs on?
Water?
Hydrogen.
Water.
Hydrogen, liquid oxygen, and hydrogen. The same company that makes the engines for the 737 and Boeing Airbus, these engines that stick out the wing, the same company also makes engines that run on hydrogen. So those of you conspiracy theorists that think that the planes are running on water, hydrogen, you might be right.
You know the problem about planes, about airplanes, about conspiracy theorists, like you just said right there, about when people talk about Mandela effects on planes.
Yeah.
I always have to be selective on the people who I listen to on the planes, kind of like yourself.
Yeah.
Some people, because most people are never even next to a plane. I mean, you can see pictures of planes and all that, and you can Photoshop any pictures of planes you want.
Oh yeah.
But if you're next to these planes, how would you really know? But like you work at a museum. I know. You work at a museum. You were with.
I work in the wings of the plane. Those fucking planes, all those wings changed, man. They're narrow. They used to be big, fat engines underneath. Now they're fucking narrow, like a damn toothpick with the engine sticking out the front. And they have a propulsion system completely different than I was used to. But this weird ass, the problem with these fucking 737s falling out of the sky is that even the pilots themselves aren't even skilled with these things yet. It's like they popped up for them. It's like a heart surgeon working on somebody's chest, cracking it open, and then all of a sudden having the Mandela effect going, wait a minute, the heart changed. What the hell do I do? Well, they can't fly these fucking planes with them now. They just popped up. I think even the pilots are going, there's something wrong. I don't understand these engines. They're just so fucking weird that they just popped in. Again, it's the same company who make the CFM company that makes these engines also make rockets that run on fucking hydrogen. So who's to say that these engines that they're selling for these planes aren't themselves running on hydrogen? I'm like, wait a minute now. Now it says clearly that why would they not make an airplane engine that runs on the same thing? I'm thinking, wait a minute now, this conspiracy is starting to make sense. They might be running on fucking hydrogen and telling people that it's airplane fuel. Oh, there's airplane fuel. You're paying thousands of dollars for a fucking ticket. And it turns out that it might be running on just the air and the atmosphere. They've got it. The technology is the same company who has that technology is the same ones making them engines. And those engines are brand fucking spanking Mandela effect new for me. So I wanted people to, those you guys that are airplane enthusiasts I've told some other people in England, their fucking mouths drop. It's like, what CFM? What's a CFM? CFM engines. I've never heard of it. Yeah, I haven't either. So how many of you guys in the sidebar have ever heard of a CFM engine? They've been around since, I think even it said in one of the things that even a 747 had one on once. I'm like, what the fuck is these engines come from? So anyway. Well, I'm just throwing that out there. Those that have, knowledge.
I think when you guys get a chance out there, people, we did a show called 10 of the Most Mysterious Aircraft Disappearance. But of course, with the aircraft disappearance, Bob talks more about planes. And if you guys want to learn about planes and changes, I'm telling you, most of these channels never even stood next to a plane. And I'm not just trying to sell Bob, to you guys.
Talk about
want to know more, but if you're going to listen to plane changes, I would listen to a person who worked with the planes. I'm serious.
Yeah, I try to tell people. They're all like curious.
I found residue, dude. What's better residue than a person yourself who works next to a plane? I'm just saying.
It's like, how many people remember a CFM fucking plane or engine? I can't find one person that remembers a CFM. What do you mean? You mean a GE? No. You mean a Rolls-Royce engine? No. You mean a Whitney & Whitney? No. What engine? A CFM? They're like, no, I've never heard of that. Well, guess what? They're the most popular fucking plane or popular engine on the market for fucking airplanes, and no one's ever heard of it. It just popped up like around 2017, 16 or 18, started going in, and even the pilots don't know about it. That's why they're having so many problems. Like, well, I didn't know about it. The pilots are fucking flying the planes going, what new engine is this? I don't know anything about it. Not even in the tech manuals. So again, some of the changes get so weird, they happen so fast that even the pilots themselves haven't caught up to it. There you go with all the accidents.
Yeah,
I'm just throwing it at people.
No, I was gonna do a WTF, but I decided not to. We'll go into the death part because I was gonna talk a little bit more about some of my findings that I found on the Monopoly guy that's missing the monocles. I did a podcast on about who actually drew the actual mascot, and where his name, the person who drew it, they didn't even know who it was until 2013.
Really?
2013.
The Monopoly guy?
The Monopoly guy.
Yeah, with the penny bags or whatever, with the one monocle.
Penny bags. Yes. I did a. What I'm doing, Bob, is on the podcast, I'm taking each individual show on a Mandela effect. But I'm not doing it on. Look, guys, I got fucking 20 residues from the internet. I'm actually breaking it down from the origin. When it was invented, how did it, where did it go? And just trying to find clues. And I just learned that the guy who invented the mascot was 3 years after when the game was made. So the game was made like.
But you got to ask yourself a question, Eric. Now, every time, again, like with this engine, I know this engine didn't exist. But now there's a back history, and the back history is wrong. You understand? So whenever there's a new thing that changes, the history itself is wrong. So when you're doing the history, it's cool to bring up with people because they're going to go, I don't remember that history. I don't remember being like I talked about like Armstrong saying one small step for man. Now he says one small step for a man, and there's a back history to it now. And I'm like, when did the back history to this come up? There was no back history,
and that's what that I try to do to bring a little origin.
Yeah,
the origin. It's just like
yeah,
I'm gonna show the role that I have, but Paranormal Effect, what happened, and 1933 when it was sold, and then finding out the guy who drew the mascot wasn't even known until 2013. When the game was invented in 1933, and the question you got to ask yourself,
33.
Why? And you're right, Bob. 33, 2013. And was the character like technically rechange on purpose so they don't have to pay this guy? Was there originally a monocle there? And then
there was.
Remember, the Parker Brothers sold it to Hasbro.
Yeah.
But Parker Brother bought it from a guy. No, I'm not gonna say the guy's name who bought it. You have to watch. You have to listen to the podcast.
Yeah, there was a monocle for sure. It just disappeared. Like for me, 16. I had the board. I actually had Eric. I actually had the University of Washington, the UW version of a Monopoly, and then it had the monocle guy around the top, and it's like disappeared. And I go, what the fuck happened to the monocle?
Now, in my video, I'm not trying to debunk it. I said I remember with the glasses, but I want to look at the history. I want to try to figure out, was there something that maybe put the two together? Because the Mr. Peanut one is stupid because I never even knew there was a Mr. Peanut when we were playing Monopoly. Now, I have a theory, but you have to listen to the podcast on why I think he wore one, or maybe I remember him. I actually have a theory on that. But I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to watch the podcast, people. Sorry. Yeah. But let's go to the community tab where I put in a vote. And this is going to lead right into our subject. Yeah. Here we go. Is there an afterlife? And it's just a basic yes or no or maybe. That's all I put. Yes or no or maybe. I want to know, what do people think about the afterlife? Now, after 31 votes so far, and if you haven't voted, people, just go into the community. And you can't do this on a phone or iPad. I think you only do it on a computer, if I'm right. 77% believes in an afterlife. 3% says no. That's basically almost nobody. Everybody thinks there's an afterlife.
Of course.
And 19% says maybe. Now, let's see if some comments. Red Pill Paul wrote, my wife is a clairvoyant and contacts the other side all the time. So I definitely vote yes. Death as we know it is at the end of the line. Okay. Happy 10K subs. Well, thank you. One day I'll be able to watch the stream live, work hours, but looking forward to the 11521 episode. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks. And then Robert Alley says, this is the afterlife.
That's what some people say that. Yeah.
And then I wrote to him, that's cool in a weird way, knowing that you watch me in your afterlife. That's cool. You watch me in his afterlife. Isn't that awesome? But then Robert Alley wrote, only a real shell can do this, Eric.
Damn right.
And then our good friend Carla Webster wrote, I voted yes. In my opinion, from personal experiences, it's without a doubt. It would be pretty depressing thinking this is all there is for us. But that's what they want you to think. They want you to believe that they're not important and your choices don't matter. Little secret, you are important and they do matter. I don't resonate with the man-made versions of God with any of the various religious or in the construct of heavens and hell. I agree with that. They exist, just not in the way we have been told. That I believe in that too. The only thing that resonates with me is that God is the creator. Whatever your version of that is, it exists. Okay. this life is a human experience. So make the best of your experience. You are a character in a game. Like Bob, like you say, you were a character in a comic book. Same thing.
No.
Words. Your choices determine where you go after this. In my opinion, if you make the right choices and you're a good person, you do no harm to others, and that includes animals, natural law, you'll learn and speak your truth. Then that's the key to get out of here. If you do the opposite, your soul is recycled as many times as it takes until you get it right. Some sadly never do. That soul recycling in the Matrix prison is, in my opinion. Well, this is deep. This is awesome.
Good though.
There's always a way out, but the choice is yours. That's where free will comes into play. If there was nothing more, then why do they, whatever they are, try so hard to keep us in prison here with them? The game is between two sides, theirs and God. The real two paths, the battle of spiritual and your internal soul. Make the right choices. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get out of here. That's deep.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
That's deep. That's deep.
That one goes back to her joke about like in the Matrix when I asked them, I go, what if the Matrix, when they take the pill and they go to fucking Zion, that's hell. And then leaving the Matrix was the real world and going into Zion was hell. It was the reverse. They fooled them into reversing themselves.
Yes.
They go to a dancing place with mush.
And what I thought that we do is I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to share this up. Okay. Yeah. Now, this is basically the title of the show. Okay. The title of the show is There an Afterlife? Different Religious Views on Death. And I thought that this would be interesting because if you're going to talk about reincarnation or what is out there, it'd be kind of cool to know what other religion thinks. And when people talk about like near-death experiences, maybe some of their near-death experience matches one of these religions. I mean, I don't know, but it's kind of fun research to do in a way. Now, this first one is atheism, of course. Atheism views on life after death vary depending on individual beliefs. Some atheists don't believe in any sort of life after death, but others in the existence of spirits, afterlife, or reincarnation. This article sums it up. Atheist believes in spirits, as atheism by itself only excludes belief in gods, not necessarily belief in anything else that might. Well, this is not atheism. Is not. I mean, I guess you could say it's a religion, but
it's definitely a religion.
Yeah. I mean, there's that thought process that when you die, you die. That's it. Blank. Gone. Well, there's nothing.
I'm from the world of science, and I've worked around a lot of atheists, and not one of them has ever been in the military. So there are no atheists in them. I always tell them, I said, you know what, dude? You get somebody shooting at you, we'll see how much of an atheist you actually are, or you have a near-death experience. Let's see you hold on to that atheist value. As soon as they have their fucking tree rattled up a little bit, some apples fall down, then they're all of a sudden finding religion. They're the biggest religion fuckers out there when it comes down to almost dying. There's no such thing as an atheist, man, when it comes down to once they leave their house and walk away from their computer, they ain't atheists anymore. No one takes a shot at them.
Everybody has the right for different beliefs. And we're never going to bash somebody who's really like David wrote, there is reincarnation, but the problem is that you can't come back as anyone or anything depending on how you live your life. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I heard that. And
that's karma.
But here, let's go to the first one.
Yeah.
Buddhism. Buddhist believes in reincarnation. The cycle of death and rebirth. Since Buddhists don't believe in the existence of souls, reincarnation means taking on another body in their next life. Bardo, the intermediate state is the time between death and rebirth when Buddhists experience different phenomena. However, being in the reincarnation cycle is considered a suffering experience, and the goal is to escape this cycle by reaching nirvana. Nirvana is seen as an end to suffering, and some as heavenly paradise. Now, hold on, let me get this right. Let me get this straight. So they believe in reincarnation, so you come back, but when you come back, it's never going to be a great experience until you reach nirvana. I don't know if I like that one.
I was told by Buddhists,
but I don't want my reincarnation to be a bad one.
Yeah, I was told by, again, people disagree with this one. It's okay. I'm not 100%. Buddhist told me, a monk told me that life is 90% sadness and 10% happiness. So it goes along with what that philosophy is right there. I'm like, oh, wow.
I guess, right? I mean,
we're here for an experience, man. So, I mean, we're definitely going to get it. We're getting it.
All we know that this life that we're all here, everybody in the chat right now, all of us, this is we're already been reborn. This is our extra sadness. So maybe what's going on is what we should be expecting, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm not home, so I'm fucking from Sagittarius arm. So this is Orion spur. So I'm living this place.
Carla,
this place is.
Carla, who wrote that awesome thing, also wrote, atheists are afraid of death because they think is all there is. So cling to it tightly. Oh, you know what? Atheists are afraid of. I just think. I mean, we haven't read all the rest of it. Is my opinion before we get there? We should. It is interesting about death.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't let worrying about what's going to happen too much in the afterlife, because you still got a life to live here.
Yeah.
Don't forget, like a lot of us have kids, children, wives, husbands, partners. You still got to live here. So yeah, it's interesting about the afterlife, but don't let it rule your life where your life you're living now, it's not so well. But let me go to the next one. Here we go. Let me go back next one. Next one is Christianity. Christians.
Nice.
Christian belief in the afterlife depends on what domination they're part of, but most believe in the resurrection of Jesus. The existence of afterlife. Okay. So far they believe in the resurrection of Jesus. Okay. And the moral choices you make on earth affect whether you end up in heaven or hell.
Karma.
Catholic Christians believe in purgatory, a place where the dead destined for heaven must first go if they need purification for their sins. Now, but and I don't know if this is all real or not, but I'm going to ask you this.
We're in purgatory.
If you're going to put a bet on the afterlife, would you really put all your coins in a resurrection of Jesus? Wouldn't you just skip Jesus and go straight to God? Because what if God is real, but Jesus technically is not? Then did you kind of ruin your life to the point where you die?
Well, it depends on what camp you are with Christians. Now, remember, some Christians like Islam, they think of the Prophet Muhammad as a prophet and a teacher. So some Christians think of Jesus as a prophet and a teacher. So, and he's telling you only good things. So, I mean, if you're just going to follow the teachings, you're going to be fine. It's the same thing. The same with the Buddhists or any other one. You just, if that's your teacher, I always encourage Christians, that's great, man. If that's your teacher, awesome. That's your teacher. Whatever you want to call him, follow the teachings, and then you'll get there, because the doctrine is good. The teaching is good. So that's why I don't put down. People ask, are you Christian? Go, no, I'm not Christian, but I do like the Christian philosophy. In other words, I dig what your teacher said, because it's all good. There's nothing bad about it. So don't feel bad. So if that's your teacher and that's your religion, go for it.
I like what she wrote here. Dying doesn't scare me nearly as much growing old and feeble. That's true, man. Growing old is part that, but okay, let's just say, for the hell of it,
yeah,
heaven and hell is real. And I'm not here to say it's not. I don't know. I can't honestly. It's a belief system.
Yeah.
Say heaven is real. If your soul goes to heaven, do you get to be yourself, or does your whole body kind of change to a light where you're always smiling and you're always happy? That I'm not saying brainwash. I'm not saying brainwash, but can I do the same things here in there?
Well, see, it's the philosophy of the all you can eat taco bar. When I go to heaven, do I get dancing girls and an all you eat taco bar? Because even that all you can eat fucking buffet bar is going to get boring after a while. Pretty much anything you do is going to be boring. I don't believe in death. That's my philosophy. I don't die. I don't believe in it. Fuck, I don't think it exists. I think you just something happens and you forget about what just happened and you didn't go off the cliff that day, or you just didn't do that one thing that day and you just didn't die. You won't even know it.
And then
I don't believe in it.
Before we move it to the Hindu one,
yeah,
and then if they're unsure if you've been a good person or not, then you got to spend time in the purgatory. I mean, do they do like a physical on you when you're there? Put you on a lie detector test? I mean, I'm not saying anything bad, but if it's all spiritual and magical, wouldn't they automatically know if you're good or not? I mean, or do you get like? I mean, I don't know. I'm not religious. I don't study religion. I don't go to church. Yeah. So I know. I saw Tony was in the chat. So maybe Tony knows this answer. So Tony, if I hang out in the purgatory, whatever you call it, what am I doing there? I mean, are they like putting me on a lie detector test? Are they like slapping me around, see if I'm a good person or not?
I don't think anybody's actually
know.
Yeah, no one's ever come back from purgatory to say, you know what happened there? It kind of sucked. I imagine if I didn't think of purgatory, I'm going to follow the Eddas, which is the old paganism philosophy, which they talked about hell, which is spelled H-E-L, not H-E-L-L. Hell is a place where it's boring. That's how they describe it in paganism culture. In the Eddas, hell is a place you can go that's boring. You don't go to Valhalla. You don't go to any other palace or like heaven, you would say. You just go to a boring place. That's how it's described in the Eddas. Well, so purgatory to me sounds like hell, H-E-L version of hell. It's just a boring.
Well, what it says here. This is what this is why we do this show, so we all just have fun and experiment. It says here, purgatory is, according to the belief of some Christians, an intermediate. I need some water. I should have got some water. State after physical death for expiatory purifications. There's a disagreement among Christians whether such a state exists.
Yeah.
Some of the Western Christianity, particularly within Protestantism, denies its existence. So this is not even with all the Christianities. This is only partial.
Again, there's different factions. Purgatory could be. I've even heard people argue that this is purgatory. Like where you are right now is purgatory. This is in between that place and that place. You know, this is purgatory. This is where you live now. You're relearning the lesson all over again. You didn't do it right the first time, so now you're stuck with the ball and chain and the 3 fucking crying kids and the shitty ass job with the horrible boss. Your car just broke down. You lost your job because of COVID. Now you've got the bills are going to be shut. I mean, you're in purgatory.
What do you call that word? What do you call that word when you're not here or below? You're stuck in the middle. What do you call that word? You're stuck in the middle. No. The other word.
Limbo. Yeah.
So basically,
you can identify anything. You're sitting in that cubicle. You're an insurance salesman. No one's buying nothing. You're not going to get the Christmas bonus. The daughter needs braces. Your insurance is outrageous. You got to pay. Purgatory.
Now, what about this? Scott says we're in hell now. Can this be hell?
You know, it's up to you. What you make it, it's what you make it. I'm not making it hell. I've decided I don't believe in death. I don't have a fear of death. I can give a shit about death. So I'm living in now, and now feels good. I'm staying out of hell. I'm not doing it no more. This is what this place wants you to live like. They want you to be in hell. I ain't doing it. I'm just stop doing it. I don't fuck with nobody. I don't fuck with the cops. I don't go in the stores and treat them poorly because they have to wear masks. I use a medical card. I treat people like I want to be treated. I treat this place like a good place, best I can, because it keeps coming back at us and slapping us in the face saying it's a bad place. I know it, but I'm not going to acknowledge it. I'm not going to acknowledge bad.
Well, let's look at the Hindus. Hinduism. Hindus believe in reincarnation after death. Okay, so far I see two about reincarnation of death. So reincarnation of death, and that the Atman or soul receives a new body and life depending on karma.
Yeah, karma.
Or good and bad actions taken into the previous life. They believe you can be reincarnated as not only humans, but also animals, insects, and plants. Oh, that's fucked up, man. And man, you imagine coming back as a plant. I mean, not plant, but an insect, and your job is to suck blood out of people, and they're swapping you away to kill you. That's not cool.
I mean, it's an interesting concept.
From reincarnation cycle and achieve moksha, liberation from the cycle after being freed of the cycle. It's believed they return to be with Brahman.
I mean, you could be a feces worm. You could be something up somebody's rectum. You could be that little micro bug that lives in somebody's fucking eyebrow. You could be anything, a dung beetle. You could be the worst fucking thing ever. So,
you know what? But there's something here that I could use. I could use something in here. So when I talk to a vegetarian or a vegan, because they don't want to harm animals, I can say, listen, people, in Hindus, they believe that you can come back as a plant. So you want to not eat a steak? Now, if you eat that plant, you might be eating my dad, my grandpa, my great uncles. You might be eating one of my family members when you eat that carrot. So what's the difference of eating a steak or a plant if it's all reincarnated from us?
Yeah.
Think about that. You ever thought about that, Bob? You ever thought about that?
You could be a bobono monkey. You could be I'm
gonna go one of those vegan bakeries and say, guys, put that baker shit down because you might be eating one of my relatives in there.
You could be a bobono monkey, Eric. You can come back as a bisexual monkey. How would that feel?
Maybe.
All I know is I'm playing it right and I'm treating people good. They all have the same theme. Karma. Keep your karma up. Whatever religion, I don't give a shit. Just follow the principles all the way down the line. Good karma.
You can come back as
how you want to be treated.
Rats, right? We're rats.
A rat. You could be a sewer rat. Hopefully the bankers will all come back as sewer rats.
Wow. What do you think about higher dimensions? That's what Lot K wrote.
I do believe in them. I do believe in them. I do believe in a higher dimension. However, it would almost be hell because you wouldn't have those challenges. You wouldn't have that first kiss you got when you were, in high school, whatever. You mustered up the nerve to get that first kiss, how you felt for it. Well, if you're in a higher dimension, there is no more of that emotion for those things. There's no such thing as eternal love forever. Again, that taco bar gets real old real fast in heaven. I'm leaning towards what that Buddhist told me about the 90% suffering because it makes that 10% kick ass. You just take that 10% and really push it. I try to make it bigger. But yeah, I do believe in higher dimensions. I just don't know if I want to be in it. I don't know if I want that. I signed on for this. Good or bad, I'm taking it.
Well, how about this? What does the Jewish people think? Here we go. Judaism. Jewish afterlife beliefs depends on the individual beliefs. Jews focus more on their life on earth, which I respect that. But most Jews believe there is an afterlife, but it comes in many forms. Some Jews believe in a reincarnation cycle, while others believe in the world to come, a heaven-like paradise. So basically, they believe that there could be their version of a heaven and a reincarnation. So far we have seen 3 religions talk about reincarnations.
Yeah, reincarnation. I think if it boils it down to, for me, either you think of reincarnation or you think of, like, Star Trek, Eric. You know the Star Trek, how in the future, like Star Trek, there's no more money and everyone's running around the Federation or whatever. You know how everyone's all cool and happy and they free college and there's no sadness in the Federation in Star Trek. You know what I mean? That little theme where everything, all the food is met that you need, the clothing you need, everything's there for you. What do they call that? Social living? I don't know. But, that's kind of cool, that concept.
Yeah.
But then again, then there's no competition unless they rechannel competition in other ways, like competing for Starfleet.
You said it. Competition. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Now you live in that world. No money.
Yeah.
But who the hell who gets to choose that? Hey, you're going to be a cook. You're going to be a captain of a spaceship.
Well, that's the thing. No, remember, in the Federation, they've taken all the labor jobs and they're all automated now. So there's no more cooks. It makes, remember
that generation, Star Trek Generation, the View chick, she was a bartender.
Well, they choose their jobs. Remember, they choose it. Now, I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying, I've after doing the research on the Star Trek philosophy, they choose it. They want to be a bartender. They want to be an engineer. They want to be a pilot. They want to do they're just learning a job and then doing it as a personal fulfillment, and hard work is a gift for them. They don't need to worry about the money, the food, the supply. This is just not me. This is just the Star Trek idea of the Federation lifestyle. Again, that's communist. Oh, that's
Star Trek original series hated paradise they met, especially the Doctor. Hey, the Doctor was pissed off. The Doctor was pissed off because, remember, he got redrafted.
Yeah.
To Starfleet. He didn't want to go, so he didn't have a choice.
As long as you have a challenge, even like remember, Dad was retired. Our dad worked himself to his knees were gone. He hated retirement. So my dad always had hobbies. He had a hobby. He watched the kids with us. He had crossword puzzles. He reloaded his bullets and stuff. He always kept a hobby. As long as you keep, and he went hunting and fishing and camping, and always had that challenge of the elements and the snow, and always, remember, Eric, every year he kept it challenged.
But what if Kurt from below wants to be a banker in that world? He can't be a banker.
I don't think there's a banker. I don't think they exist. I don't know. You guys look up Star Trek. I don't think there are bankers in Star Trek anymore. I don't think they have money.
I still think there'll be some issues because somebody still has to process the food. Somebody still has to work this, and even though they got machines.
No, there's no processing food. Remember, it's a little thing that makes it. I'm sure it tastes like crap. I'm sure if you wanted to be a cook, again, in their philosophy, you could be that cook and have fun, and then you have half machine that doing it for you, and then you just choose what part you want to do. Even the engineering has robots.
What if a girl or a guy wants to be a prostitute in the Star Trek world?
If they want to be a prostitute, I guess they could. I don't know.
I guess they have that that room where they could vision wherever they want.
They have the holodeck.
I guess they want to need it, right?
We're here now. We're in a big ass holodeck right now. We're all living in a holodeck. So we're I'm just playing. But I don't know, guys. I'm just telling you what the philosophy is. It's up to you if you would want to live that way.
Let's see what the Islams think.
Oh, yeah.
The Muslims believe that death is the end of physical life on earth, but the soul lives on. The soul goes to the angel of death to wait for the judgment day. On judgment day, their actions during their time on earth will be judged to determine whether they go to Jannat, paradise, or Jahannama, hell. Now, that sounds a lot like Christianity with heaven, hell, and the purgatory, or whatever that shit is, where they get judged. This sounds like the same thing.
Well, it's based off the same religion. Well, I mean, it's a mixture between three different things. It's Judaism. Remember, they have Jesus. Yeshua is in the Torah, or in the Quran. It's the same thing. It's the same religion. Not the same, but it follows the same. It has the same roots. It's got Noah. It's, it took portions of the Torah. Again, they have their own version of the same one. Abrahamic. It's Abrahamic. It's an Abrahamic. Torah, Judaism is Abrahamic. Christianity, Abrahamic. Islam, Abrahamic. So it's the same philosophy, except, they have to do good until the final day. Then they get judged, and then they get to go to paradise. They just have to wait a little bit, but there's no time and space in death world. So once you die, you're pretty much going to get what you're going to get right afterwards.
Well,
it's Abrahamic religion.
Let's hit this last one. Spiritualism. Spiritualists believe that the afterlife or spirit world is the realm where spirits continue to evolve.
Yes.
They believe souls live on and take their consciousness with them. They believe souls can interact with those living on earth through mediums and spirits, the world of the physical world. I like that one.
Spiritualists, yeah.
That was my favorite.
Yeah. Well, it's like animist.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, it's like the animist.
Reincarnation. Now, if you just think about this. Whew. Reincarnation kind of sucks. I'll tell you why. If you can't remember your other life, it's the same thing as blank. Dead, blank. You don't see nothing. You're living with a whole new memory. So what's good with that?
Well, you get to do it again if you do.
But how do you know you're doing it again?
That's the thing. You have to know. You have to believe in it. I mean, I believe that there's reincarnation. I know that you just don't fucking die and go to no damn paradise for an eternity. You got to come back. If you want the challenge all over again, you're going to come back and do it again. I know there's a God. That's hands down. So whatever the fuck that Home Slice wants to do with you is what it's going to happen. You come back as a frog, you're a frog. If you want to come back and do it all over, you almost got it right. They'll send you right back to do it again, all over again. I don't know. You're just doing it from scratch. We don't know. I know I don't think there's any death. I don't die, so I don't fucking care about it. So come back and do it again. Yeah. I mean, there's even evidence of people having this past life. I'm not saying it's true, but past life regressions, past life memories. There's even people talking those. Remember that birthmark you have on your ankle, Eric? You have a birthmark, that birthmark on your ankle. Some people that have them birthmarks on their body is big. They have a memory of either being shot there or being stabbed there or some injury happened on that spot. Like you lost your fucking
ankle, that fucking hurt.
So you have it on your ankle. So you obviously had your fucking foot half blown off in another reality, in another life. So now you have a big old huge birthmark on there. I don't know. That's what they say in some of the circles of reincarnation. Now, birthmarks are where you got killed or whatever.
Christianity and Islam similar in beliefs, but pitted against each other.
Isn't it weird for me? I've been in the military. I've been around. I ran around with people from Islam, and they're nice fucking people. They're great people, great philosophies. It's borderline Christianity, borderline. Well, they're not a big fan of the Torah, but it's Abrahamic. They have Noah, they've got Moses, they've got Yeshua, they've got them all. It's just a different philosophy in how they do their rituals and how they worship. And then Prophet Muhammad is just a prophet. That's because Muhammad said he's a prophet. Don't worship me. Don't worship. And I think that Yeshua said the same thing that Jesus said, don't worship me, worship God. He said the same thing. That's why I don't get mad at Jesus was a prophet. Well, yeah, that's what he said himself is don't worship me, worship God. So it's the same to me. Maybe he's the reincarnation. Maybe the Prophet Muhammad, Eric, is the reincarnation of Jesus. That pisses some people off right there.
Ben wrote reincarnation. Now let me ask you and the chat question.
What's that? What's the big question?
Did I just have a brain? Okay, hold on. Here it is. I want your opinion and the people in the chat.
What's that?
You believe when they say somebody experiences a near-death experience where they technically died, but they came back, that you actually really do see hints of the other side?
Good question.
Yeah, I want to hear your guys' comments too on that.
Somebody asked me that today. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't believe in that because I've had too many near deaths, and it felt like to me is that I survived, and in another fucking reality, I didn't. But the fact that I did is because I did. I didn't go to no white light. There was no fucking pretty colors. My head didn't do weird things and some fancy. I didn't have relatives come fucking visit me.
Hold on.
I just lived.
Somebody's backing up your theory.
Here we go.
My daughter has a birthmark on her toe and has had foot phobia, absolutely hates bare feet. So maybe there is something in that birthmark theory.
Yeah. Something inside of me tells me it's true.
I think you bring your soul knowledge back with you, and you have to keep building it.
I think so too. I believe that too. Yeah, you guys are saying great things. I believe exactly what you guys say.
So
I believe in reincarnation.
So basically, you're saying you think when somebody says they have a near death, it's not really near death.
From my own experience, I have never experienced no pretty ass white light. I should have took a left turn at Albuquerque, and I like the old say, and somehow I made it through. And then my mind has a flash of like a deja vu, like I didn't make it. I was killed. I fucking saw myself, but in a memory, but I didn't because I made it out. So, other words, it's like we shift. Something happens, and I don't die. You wouldn't gonna die that day. It wasn't your day. So there's no death. There's no fucking white light and you come back. I'm like, what are you talking about? You just made it that day. You made it. You made it alive. There's no beautiful fucking whatevers.
She wrote, I know someone who technically died 4 times. She says she saw and remembers nothing.
That's me. I don't remember a damn thing other than making it through. Again, I had a flash, like a memory like I didn't, but then I did. Like a bullet whizzed by my ear. It probably didn't. It probably got me. In another reality, but in this one it didn't. So I have a tendency to think that that's all in their heads from a endorphin rush or some kind of chemical thing. You just make it or you don't. If you die, you just reincarnate and that's the end of it. You come back and do it all over again. You just go right into the next fucking vessel. There is no beauty. There is no, my grandmother came and gave me love and light. No, you saw a jinn. You saw a jinn that looked like your grandma, just trying to fuck with you while you're moving on to the next light. Yeah, I don't know.
One person saying, "Well, you have to be religious and have to be like going towards heaven if you're saying you're dead." I'm like, really? No, come on, come on.
You say that, but then heaven becomes hell because you're.
Why don't more people do like that movie? Flatliners. Do more
Flatliners, yeah. They talk about going up to the top of the roof, and that girl, she sees all the. But what they saw was in the movie Flatliners is they went into their heads, and then they saw their own demons. They saw the one. They saw that one thing they did bad that haunted them the rest of the movie. So they saw the thing they did bad. That one big lie they did haunted them, or that one little bad thing they did haunted them.
They had to fix it.
Yeah, had to fix it.
And that's like, like
that girl had to say sorry for
like. One thing is, I'm surprised we haven't heard more stories of people actually doing this to see if there's a near death and have somebody bring them back.
Yeah,
or if the near death be like, no, we're not going to do you because you're forcing it on yourself.
Because you can hallucinate, man. You could take mushrooms and see all kinds of shit. So if you're just basically in your own brain, you're just they're having a trip, man. And then they're seeing, I'm like, well, why would you see your dad or your grandmother when you're dead, when you're on your way to heaven? How about that poor grandma? Why isn't she in heaven? Why the fuck are you going and she's stuck there talking to you?
There's
go.
Fox Cart really wrote, I have had a couple of near-death experiences, and the only thing I felt, it wasn't the right time to go.
That's exactly right. There was no. There was no angelic thing standing there. It was like I made it. I made it through this.
Do you always know that if you think your body almost died and came back, maybe your body wasn't really dead in the first place?
You're not brain dead. You could be body dead. I took death and dying in university, and you could be body dead, but not your brain. Your brain will still go for a little bit.
And Dark Glasses Wood is correct. He is correct. Jacob's Ladder is a good movie on this subject.
Yeah.
Version. Yeah, that is true. That is a good movie on this subject, because that movie's perfect on this subject, actually.
Oh my God. The guy saw demons. He saw his whole, because he was on LSD when he died. So in the movie, I don't want to give it away, but he saw everything. Your whole body, all those bad things you did, man, will haunt you when you go to that point in your head.
And that's true too. I bet scientists doing it as we speak. We are just not allowed in on it. That
could be. They have the technology to bring you right back. They could freeze you to a certain point. They can do that now. So why aren't they, I'm writing a book on the experiences of people. Well, why don't you fucking just do the science? I'm sure there's a scientist out there who did the studies.
Right. They would have to do it underground, because I'm sure that it's immoral. It's probably against the law to technically murder somebody to make sure they can come back from this experiment.
But this is a liar's fucking planet. I don't know, Orion Spur, fucking whatever the hell this place. I'm sure they're doing it.
If it's just chemical reaction in the brain, why are they so constantly the same?
Yeah.
You think people would have different hallucination besides the lights argument? Hold on.
Yeah.
How do we know they're all constantly the same? Hold on. If you're doing a TV show, you're doing a documentary, you pick and choose what stories to choose. You could pick 10 stories. They almost all saw the same thing, where the other 1,000 was totally different. So how do you really know it's mostly all the same? I mean, unless you're calling every near-death person yourself and getting it from them, because the TV documentary are only going to choose the juicy ones.
Well, they're going to choose the ones that are consistent with an ideal. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
This person could be right. I mean, you could be right. I always tell people, debunk me first. I'm most likely wrong. So if your thing is that you believe you're going to go to a heaven, keep that faith. Don't listen to assholes like me. Fucking keep your faith. Don't lose what you got in your head. If you believe you're going to all you can eat taco bar for the rest of your life, damn right. Keep that faith. Don't lose it. Listen to me.
You wrote it earlier in the chat. Just be a good person.
Be a good damn person and see what happens at the end.
That's it.
Be a good person. Don't lie. Don't steal. Don't hurt children. Don't hurt animals. Just be the fucking nicest person you can be. And you're going to get something at the end.
Yeah. Just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean you have to.
Don't do it. That's an investment. You make an investment. I'm going to make an investment in this company. I'm going to make an investment in this. Make an investment in your own fucking life. Do it the right way. Don't be greedy. Don't be poor either. don't suffer. Fucking idiots out there. Well, I'm gonna suffer. I'm gonna shave my head and go live in the forest and suffer. Why?
I haven't watched it, but will now. Now, Carla, if you're gonna watch that movie, make sure.
Oh man,
Carla, if you're gonna watch the movie, I recommend get a lot of coffee, because it is a little slow.
Yeah,
it's slow. You can fall asleep, but if you're gonna watch it, make sure you have a lot of coffee, because it is interesting. It is a good movie, but it is a tiny bit slow. But it's a slow burn. It's a very slow burn.
Well, good
to the story. So I'm saying it is good. It's a little slow. So just have some coffee. Kind of like when I watched that George Clooney space movie on Netflix.
Yeah,
it was slow, but with coffee you can get through it.
Yeah, Eric. Before we're still talking about, but before we hang up, I wanted you to talk just a touch about that one I sent you about. The two entertainers. The one just died on the 13th.
Okay, I'll find it.
Yeah,
when I'll find it. Dark Glasses Rudy wrote, "If you can leave your body when you dream, then you could do it when you die."
Absolutely. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. I mean, why not? Why not? Again, why not? I mean, you could leave your body. Yeah, absolutely. If you can astral project yourselves, the military obviously trained people to do it. Hell, I do it all the time. So I'm sure you guys can do it. I'm just fucking with you. But anyway, yeah. But check this out here. I want to get some people's opinions on this one because me and some Brits over here have the same memory on something. It kind of threw us all off.
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, it's about those two entertainers out of Las Vegas.
Oh, I think here it is.
Yeah, check
about Siegfried.
Siegfried and Roy.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is on the same subject. It's on the same subject. It's kind of a weird subject. It's just kind of weird on this. It's weird. Okay, I'm just saying it.
Okay, so here's Siegfried and Roy.
Yeah.
You said Siegfried died on the 13th, January 2021. Born 13 June. Roy was born October 3 on May 8th. That's my birthday.
Yeah.
And your birthday. Oh, yeah, you wrote that. Robert, I remember Roy dying back in 2003, but it seems like he lived and only died last year.
How many people? He was Roy. Do you remember? Okay, say their names one more time. It's Siegfried and Roy, right? That's how you say their names. Siegfried and Roy, guys. Now they were entertainers out of Las Vegas, and they had tigers. Okay. In 2003, those of you that remember, one of them, I think it was Roy, was attacked by a tiger. Was attacked by one of the tigers.
Yeah, one was. Yeah.
I remember him dying. Okay, I'm wrong. I understand it. I get it. I'm probably 99.9% I am wrong. However, I talked to some other Brits because I have a weird ass memory. I said, I remember him and all the papers saying he died
by a tiger.
Okay, yeah. I remember him getting killed by a tiger, but apparently he did not. He's never been dead by that tiger. He was only injured and put into a wheelchair. He just died last year. I was like, huh? Now, I remember him die. I could have swore he died in 2003. Now, I'm not calling this no Mandela effect. I'm calling this, I don't remember right. I don't know, but I could have swore there was a whole thing in the newspaper and on the TV news about him being killed by the fucking kilt.
So, Siegfried is one just died on the 13th, a couple days ago, which I didn't even know. And then Roy died on my birthday, 2020.
Yeah, he died. He died last year. The other one just died last year, and then this one just died on the 13th. He was born on the 13th. He died on the 13th, which is fucking weird. Born 13th, died on the 13th, the whole fucking 13th thing, and then also had your birthday, which is.
Steve Turner wrote, "I just got here. What did I miss?" Well, Steve, we actually killed Bob on air, and we brought him back for him to have a near-death experience with us.
So we got Loki. Where's that Loki? Hey, okay, I remember him dying too. Okay, okay, I'm not crazy.
I remember I killed him. You know what? Honestly, I didn't give a crap about these two guys, so I never even cared.
Yeah, I don't either. I just remember thinking about how fucking gruesome. I remember
they got attacked by a lion, but I don't remember him dying or staying alive.
He got attacked by a tiger and killed by one of his pet tigers. That's what I remember. I remember him being killed by a tiger. And all of a sudden they said he died last year. And I'm like, I thought he was dead. Okay, killed by the tiger. Okay, on the way to the hospital, he begged for them not to kill the tiger. Yeah, on the way, but he died. He died. I think he died in the hospital. He died.
On the way to the hospital, he begged them to not kill the tiger.
I remember that too. Don't kill the tiger that killed me.
Marcus, I don't remember the tiger attack.
I did remember the tiger attack. Yeah,
attack, but like I said, only reason I remember that because the news mentioned it. Because I didn't care for these two guys. I don't even know who they were until they said some guy got attacked by a tiger.
Yeah. And so my big question was to people, and again, if you don't remember him dying, that's fine. That's because you'll be correct. He didn't die. I just have a weird memory of him dying all over the news. I was thinking how horrific it must have been to die from your own tiger, your pet tiger. But, you know, obviously I'm wrong. And some of you might have the wrong memories too of that one. I just wanted to put that out there for you guys to think about. Ask your friends and say, hey, do you remember him living or dying? See what they say. Because this is wacky world, man. Wacky world.
I think we said I think we needed to say today. I think when we talk about death, you know, it's kind of such a heavy thing about religion, all that. And I don't think there's any more thing we could say about this.
No.
You said the last thing. And so, guys, you know, we're just going to, it's 2:52. It's only like a few minutes shorter. Yeah. So, you know, we'll be back next week as usual. Don't know exactly what the topic is next week. I'll think of something. And great. If I don't, you know, we'll still have a great show. So beyond that, guys, have a safe weekend, and can't wait to see what's going to happen on January 20th with all this craziness. What's going on in this United States of America?
I love it. I love it. I love it.
It's going to be an interesting thing to see on that day.
Yeah.
But beyond that, guys, I want to say thank you guys for coming and watching, and we'll see you all next week.